let's get a retro gaming topic in real quick. And this week it's going to be one that was brought to my attention about 4 or 5 days ago.
Okay.
There's a little Samson on eBay right now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The 5-screw?
Yep, you already know it. Brought to our attention, my attention on my Facebook, and then Billy from the Game Chasers said something about it. There's a 5-screw little Samson on eBay. And why this is, and why if that doesn't jump out in you as something that it should, there was no more 5-screw games after 87.
Right.
After 87, I think towards the middle, they were gone by that point. They were transitioning out of them because the 5-screw games, for those not familiar, were regular flat screwdrivers, which means you could open them up, change out the boards, screw around with it, whatever you want. Obviously, Nintendo didn't want that to happen. I remember renting, my friend renting, or it was my friend, a guy on the street, he rented like a Mach Rider and a Blades of Steel, and he switched it, and he owned the Mach Rider, and then he opened it up, rented Blades of Steel, and put it in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, they didn't want that shit to happen. So what they did was they changed to a 3-screw security bit that you couldn't find that in the late 80s, probably. It was probably very hard to find that bit, and kids were not going to go out of the way to get one, probably. So why this is important is because Little Samson is a high dollar game.
Right.
It peaked at maybe $700-800. It's come back down. Start of a crash. We talked about it before. I think some of these games have reached their peak. Now it's settling maybe $500 range. People are trying to get $580 by it now. I don't think that's happening. No. Part of the reason why is this. There's a lot of people trying to scam. And we brought this up almost every week about these motherfuckers selling exact or almost reproduction labels to begin with.
Yeah, this topic coming up is timely to like the label discussion we had last week, and people are like, "Oh, well, blah blah blah." Well, no, this is what happens.
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty easy to see what happened here. Someone, to me at least, it could be any number of things. Someone had a cart, 5-screw, opened up, converter in it, put a Famicom little Samson in there, closed it back up, put a repro label on it, and threw it online.
Sure.
Now, if they were smarter and they had done that, I mean, you could still grab the pieces, put together, whatever. You can fake it a number of different ways.
So you don't think they even got a ROM board or had one made? You think it's just a Famicom board in there?
I think that's possible. I'm not saying that's necessarily.
What's even more hysterical about this is that this seller refuses to open up and show the board.
Because
it's not even a security bit.
Right. Well, he says it'll damage the value if he opens it.
This motherfucker, and I don't like cursing a lot, but that's what he is. He's in New Jersey, and I've been hearing a lot of these scammers coming out of Jersey. And I'll be the first to tell you, Jersey, before any other part of the world, because I was there, the bug of scalpers hit first in Jersey. Because I saw it firsthand. Right. Like even 2006, 2005, I saw it coming then there. Before I only saw it in San Diego, really the past 3 years. And it was happening there 7-8 years ago.
Right.
So this asshole trying to get away with this, and I think it was either taken down the first time this auction, he put it back up. By the time you hear this podcast, it'll still be a little less than a day left, but it's at $260 now. But the word's getting out that this is just bullshit.
Oh, it's at $260. So it got taken down when it was at $480.
It's back up,
and people are still bidding on it.
Yeah, because some people don't know. That's the problem. It's hard, and people always say, "Well, it's the buyer's responsibility." No, it's the responsibility of this shit not being out there. Counterfeiting's illegal, by the way. This is illegal to do this.
It's the responsibility of the collecting community as a whole to make sure that shitheads like that can't do this.
People should be flagging every one of those reprint auctions. There's ones that sell a 5-pack, and it's like Snow Brothers, Little Samsons, Flintstones, Dinosaur Pete.
Gunnack.
It's like, yeah, I have a lot of those games laying around with bad labels. Right. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? And I get yelled at for trying on some forums for trying to speak about this shit for years, saying this stuff is bad. This is what happens when you start speculating on this shit. It brings in the vultures.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
So
it ruins the hobby. Ruins it.
Yes.
Because now not even talking about value, but like you said, like you don't trust these games coming in, and you shouldn't. When you go to these conventions, you demand that they open up that game, a 3-screw Little Samson, and you look at the ROM board, and you go online and you compare it with real pictures of another ROM board, and you have them put that game on to make sure it's Little Samson. That's where we're at, unfortunately.
I got an Evo in last week, and it already sold, but the this is how bad it's gotten. I'm distrusting of regular
regular Super Nintendo games.
Well, regulars too. Like, and it's not like I distrusted him, but
what's Evo even at? 150 or something ridiculous?
Thereabouts, yeah. He brought it in, right? And he's a regular, but it just looked too good. It looked too good, and this is the fucking problem. It looks too good, so I get I get sketchy, and I'm like, "Do you mind if I open it?" And he's like, "No, why?" I said, "Well, dude, I trust you. You've been a customer here forever." I said, "But this label's really, really nice." He's like, "Yeah, it is." I said, "At this point, I look at a really good label, and I get just as scared away from it as I do a almost completely trash label. Like, I just want something that's in between." And I opened it up, and everything seemed to check out, you know, and it found a new home like a week later. But yeah, I every game I look at now, I'm like, that's too clean.
Earthbounds, you said that there were.
I open all my Earthbounds. I open all my like anything that's gonna go for more than $100. I open.
I think that's the way you gotta go.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, unless it's some weird game that. It's worth money, but there's not a lot out of them to begin with. Like Little Samson, there's a decent amount out there. Flintstone Dinosaur Pete, there's actually a lot more than you think because a lot of them are coming from South America where they were more common. But for maybe some other game that wouldn't be worth someone's time to do it, maybe you can trust it then, like a Sunday Fun Day or something. You can trust that, but not one of these games that are now the high-end games that people are scalping and flipping. I'm going to use that term scalping more and more because scalping is usually illegal, and that's what these people are trying to do. But now they're trying to do it with counterfeit. And plus, the label is totally not. I'm not going to point out ways where the label's fake, but other people have. But the labels, to a person that knows
I don't want anyone to fix it, but I immediately looked at it, and let's just say the hues. I mean, you know, like
it's missing elements on there. It's missing elements that you're gonna miss. These people are downloading. There's sites that have really good high-res scans of these games, which from the boxes or whatever.
Yeah.
And people try to sell them. There's a guy that sells boxes of games that didn't come out, like Super Mario Duck Hunt. That's fine. It's not legal, but it's fine because there was no Super Mario Duck Hunt box that came out back in the day. But you do it for this shit, you're a douchebag. The best part about it, his name on eBay. Quick, cash it in.
Yeah, I know. That
is his goddamn name on eBay. Is that just perfect?
Yeah.
Can you make that shit up?
Quick, cash it in.
What an asshole. I really wish that one of these people get popped because depending on the state, if you steal over a certain amount, it's either it goes from misdemeanor to felony with $700 or $1,000. If someone gets one of these carts for $700, turns out it's fake, you can go to the police.
Yeah.
You can go to the police. It's counterfeit goods.
Right.
And if this guy claims he doesn't know it is, that doesn't matter.
Right. He sold it.
Because when it comes to stolen goods, it's possession. What did it say? 9/10 of the law is possession.
Yeah.
You possess it, you're the one with the illegal act at that point. So, fuck off, you motherfuckers! Get out of my hobby. That's all I'm gonna say. Get the fuck out.
It's pretty awful.
Get out.